Now, before I start, I just wanted to give a quick shout out to my boy Adrian there. I wanted to say you might not want to watch this because I'm about to go in on One Piece again. But yeah, I love One Piece. If I didn't, I wouldn't be critiquing it, wouldn't be this invested in it. But yeah, one thing I wanted to talk about is the Straw Hat relationships. And because I don't know, this is kind of one thing I've kind of, have some criticism for, I guess. Uh, and it's like, the thing is, the author of One Piece, Oda, he very much doesn't really intend for the characters to change that much, which is understandable. Like I don't expect the Straw Hats to be like different characters by the end of the story than they were at the beginning. Like that's fine. That's fine. Right? But one thing I would say that I'd expect to change at least like a bit is character relationships, right? Because One Piece is a fairly simple story, but I don't know. I feel like it's not so simple that something like you know, character and character relationship growth and development shouldn't be like so out of like left field for it. But again, very simple writing. It's Oda's writing style and whatever. But it's like anyway. I'm getting to what I was talking about. The thing about the Straw Hats relationships is Oda really wants to sell us on the fact that these characters are like very close. They're more than friends. They're family. They're Nakama, right? And it's like, you know what? I'll let you hold that, Oda. I'll let you hold that. I can believe these characters are friends, but I don't really buy on like how close it tries to sell us that they are. Not saying that they don't have their moments. They really do, right? Like these characters, it really the story really goes in on like the things that they go through together. But with how much these characters go through together, it really feels like there are certain, you know, I don't know, like again, it goes back to the characters not changing that much. But when you look at the character like dynamics within the Straw Hats, like in particular, some of them just don't change or like evolve, which is like the main thing I'm getting at is that there's like a lack of progression in their relationships with like certain members. Like uh, Zoro and Sanji are like one of the biggest issues I have, honestly. Like I like these characters, but I hate. Well, hate is too strong. I don't hate it, but I just really don't like their rivalry, quote unquote. And I use big air quotes with rivalry because I don't really buy into it, to be honest. Because it's like I really don't know what set this rivalry off, but it's like I really don't care for it. Like it's just very gaggy, that just keeps pulling it out. And it's just one of those things that it's just like it stopped being funny a long time ago, man. I don't care for it when I see it. Like always your swirly brow, your moss head, and it's just like, all right, we get it. And it's just like, I can't remember when this happened. I think I saw somebody explain it as like Zoro said something or did something back in Arlong Park when he came to Nami, and that is what caused it or whatever. But it's just like, again, like these niggas have been traveling together for like how long now, and they still got that junk going on. It's like, come on, I don't buy it. And it's just like, I think back to it, it's because like there's actually one moment, and this moment, the fact that this one moment exists, I feel like it kind of is what cements my like distaste for their rivalry again, quote unquote, is going back to All Long Park. The arc that people use to justify their rivalry. At the end, after they beat Arlong, there's a scene that I remember, and it really stuck with me. And it's a scene where everybody is like, the village is like partying, and everything. And it's like you see everybody over there, everybody turning up, and then you have Zoro kind of off over here to the side, and he's just like sitting down, leaning up against the house, just chilling on his own. And then all of a sudden, something peculiar happens. All of a sudden, Sanji walks over, right? And they don't start nothing. Ain't no beefing or nothing. Like Sanji literally just walks over, and he just sits down, across from him, and they just talk. They just it was a quick scene, like 20 minutes at most, probably, right? And they're just talking. And I can't remember what Sanji exactly said, but I think he said something along the lines of like, "Oh, sometimes you just gotta let loose and party or something like that." And it's like, and then after that, I think he saw some girls and he just went over there or whatever, and he just left, and that was it. There wasn't any. It wasn't played up for comedy or anything like, "Oh, you're over here talking to me. What happened to you? You got dropped on your head or something?" And it's like that wasn't it. Like it was just a chill little talk. It wasn't nothing much, and it's like that really stuck with me, right? Because it's like Zoro and Sanji, they were never like they were never like bros. They weren't like the coolest of people in the crew. But it's like they didn't like have this much heat for each other as they do now in the show or in the story, right? And so it's just like I don't know. That moment stuck with me because and that I think that says something. The fact that sticks with me more than like this little rivalry that they had through this entire series, bro. Like what? And other than that, it's like this is like a part that like a lot of people probably don't care about because even Oda himself clarified that he doesn't really care for this happening in the story with the Straw Hats, and that's kind of like romance, right? But it's just like again with the development of characters comes the development of character relationships, right? And it's just like you look at the Straw Hats, right? You look at these people, and you see who they got on this ship, right? In this enclosed area, they got Nico, Robin, and freaking Nami with how they look, and I don't even gotta get into detail on on them. Like y'all, we all know how they look, right? And you trying to tell me you got a ship in this enclosed space, right? With all these straight dudes, kind of excluding Chopper and Brooke, because like let's be real, nobody wants to get with a skeleton and I'm freaking reindeer. But it's just like you got all these straight dudes, muscular straight dudes too at it. Usopp got kind of big, although he's still kind of scary. So it's kind of like, boy, you big for no reason. But it's like, but nah. But it's like you got all these muscular dudes, all straight muscular dudes, and then you got these two sexy women wearing all this like it's sexy, provocative stuff in bikinis and all that. But then it's just like, you trying to tell me Sanji the only one who trying to like take a pass at that? Come on, dog. And it's like, and I almost air quotes when I say take a pass or like try to get with, because it's like it feels like Sanji almost doesn't care about that as much as he just cares about serving them. Like them, like they the queens, oh my queen. And that's honestly all it seems like. He's just interested in serving them, but not actually getting in a relationship with them, which is like wild in itself. But it's like, yeah, like you think at least somebody would try to like actually, or at least Oda would like at least like again have some kind of development in character relationships. And it's like, yeah, people just don't want to hear that. Like, that's cringy. Don't nobody want to see the Straw Hats get together in relationships. Because, it's cringy and it's going to mess up the whole group dynamic. And it's like, that's what it all eventually boils down to. Like, like, people not wanting to mess with the formula, not wanting to mess with the group dynamic. But, then it's just kind of like, again, it comes down to the whole how close they are as a unit, but how close are they individually, right? Like as a unit, these characters are all pretty close. Okay, I can buy that, but it's kind of like, can you really imagine like Zoro honestly like really hanging out with like Frankie and Brooke like that? Like, can you honestly really imagine that? And like, there are other combinations I guess you could mix and match, but it's like it feels like there are some relationships with certain characters that I can't really imagine them choosing to hang out with, right? Because it feels like we focus on the Straw Hats more as a group, as a whole, and more than like having individual characters be with like other characters like that, right? So it's like I don't know that kind of I don't know all this kind of stuff I've been talking about. It does kind of make me just question like the legitimacy of like their closeness or the believability of how close these characters are because it's like we don't really see any advancement in their relationships, individually, as opposed to a unit, and long-standing relationships on screen that just stay the same. But yeah, that's all I had to say, I think. But yeah, still love One Piece. Just had to kind of get that off my chest. But